favorite Ajummah, Young Ajummah here, and I am back with another video. So what I've been doing is trying to find all my KCON LA videos, and while I was going through it, I discovered my KCON NY panel, what type of K-pop fan are you? And I realized that I never posted it, so I'm sorry. You know, definitely check it out because I think it's great content. You got Still Not David, he's singing. So, you know, you might want to check that out because he's an awesome singer. Of course, the Nutty Nomads, Tamar, Eddi, everybody was there. We had a great time. So I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure you like and subscribe, thumbs it up. And yeah, thanks so much for watching and check out the video, okay? I'm going to put it in here now, okay? All right.
I need y'all to scream really loud. Bring all the attention to me.
Good morning. First panel of KCON here at 11 a.m. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about K-pop and everybody else. We're talking about you guys. All of us. All K-pop fans. Okay, so should we get started? I guess we're like 3 minutes late. But oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Pretty early for us. A new toy to play with. Yeah. Ready? Yeah. Okay. Introductions. Who the heck are we? What are we doing sitting up here? So we are your moderators. We're called the Nutty Nomads. Nutty Nomads. What do we do? I don't know. What do we do? We do a lot. We do lots of things. I guess we're mostly known for doing a lot of interviews with your favorite artists. Sometimes. We like to travel. We recently came back from Korea and did a cool series, a 8-part series. And yeah, super fun. And we're K-pop fans, of course. And KCON, of course. Yeah. So. Going down the line, who is everybody?
Hi everybody, my name is Eddi. It's nice to meet you. So I am a writer, and I also do a lot of different interviews as well. And from like actors like Lee or rappers like Benzino, things like that. So meet them, interview them. And I like to write for you guys and share my opinions. So I want to hear your opinions about being a fan as well. So let's start talking, okay?
Nice.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamar Herman. I write for Billboard, and I studied East Asian Studies with a focus on the fandom of K-pop when I was in college. And I write for, like I said, Billboard, NBC, Pace Magazine, The Village Voice, and a lot of other places. I do tons of interviews, so please check them out.
Hello, hello everyone. It's your favorite Ajummah, Young Ajummah. I am the resident old person on the panel today. I am a freelance writer. I do some articles for Drama Fever. I run a radio show on A1 Radio, so you should definitely check that out, where I talk about Korean hip-hop and R&B, and I interview a few people like Dynamic Duo, Bebe Mako, just to name a few. So, welcome!
Okay, hi. My name is David. I am not as cool as them. I'm just a YouTuber, and I do music covers, K-pop covers, vlogs, and I try to be funny, but most of the time it doesn't work. But that's the story of my life.
Nice.
Very funny.
All right. Gotta be fun also to discuss more fan types that weren't on our quiz. Starting with Sarah, who's gonna represent the K-pop fans over 30 discussion.
First of all, I need a show of hands. How many are over 30 right now? Okay.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yes! Love it.
Uncle fan.
I was gonna say, I need to. Okay, but no, seriously. So over 30 fans, I love our group because we love all types of music. Not too many of us are just one group fandom, although if you are, that's cool. But to the point where I don't even want to call myself like VIP, even though I am. Or, you know, maybe if I'm enjoying EXO and BTS and then the fans start fighting and it's like, I'm just not into that. So
I guess would you think like most people who are older K-pop fans would generally just be multi-fandom, like more so
I think so, because it's more about the music itself. I mean, of course, all the guys are gorgeous and all the girls are so beautiful, but it's more about, at least for me, more about the music itself. If it speaks to you, I don't care who's singing it. I don't care what you look like, you know. Yeah. So
that's good. Yeah. So you should be targeting us the older ones because we like everybody will buy everything.
Yeah, I definitely believe K-pop and everybody should target the over 30 because we have the money. So. And if we don't, we know where to get it.
True. Awesome. So, have you had any like funny, or anyone I guess, have you had any funny encounters like being an older fan, like meeting with a younger fan and having to...
Yes, I went to, okay, this is crazy. So in my other life, I am a preschool teacher. So I teach pre-K, which is, you know, little ones, but I'm also a substitute. So I was standing in line for BAP back in 2012, I think, when they came to DC. And there was a person behind me. You know how you start talking to fans when you're in line. And she says, "You look so familiar." And I was like, "Oh, well, I've been to a lot of concerts." She's like, "No, I think you're my teacher." I was like, "Oh, well, hi." You know, it is like, because I skipped out of work, of course, to go to the concert. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm feeling better all of a sudden. So, you know, so that was pretty funny and awkward.
Just own it. Not awkward. Yeah, same concert as you. Yeah. So, see you on Monday.
Right. Exactly.
Better have your homework. Did you do your homework?
Yeah, but no, that is pretty much it. I did, when I interviewed Dynamic Duo, that was actually my first face-to-face interview, and I was such a big fan of theirs that it was really hard to contain like the fangirl, because you're like, okay, I'm supposed to be professional, you know, don't screw this up or they'll blacklist you and you'll never be able to get into anything ever again. And yeah, so it was really like, hi, okay. So yeah, that was my fangirl moment.
Yeah. No, we can still have fangirl moments. Don't get confused. Like even in your 30s, like it's like.
You can, but after you finish the interview.
I kind of mini fangirled once, but it was not for a K-pop artist. It was actually for a J-rock artist. Did anybody like J-rock? Yeah. Yay! So we were interviewing Hyde. Yeah, from Vamp. From Vamp. Hyde. Yeah, we did Vamp. A Vamp's interview, and from the Arkansas. Hyde, and she was not cool as a cucumber. That was probably one of the first interviews. I was just looking at her, I had to carry the whole interview because she's asleep. I was like shaky and like, oh my god, I've been listening to you since high school, and I was like, oh my god, I actually get to talk to you. But yeah, I freaked out. It's okay, I got over it. Alright, so yeah, back to Cuba. So I guess, I don't know. Is that it for fans of their thing?
Oh yeah, just like if you see somebody that you're pretty sure is either a parent, you always make sure you want to reach out and talk, because even though we are a large demographic, the over 30, it's always nice to meet other people, you know, so.
That's shares.
Yeah.
Like, are you here just like babysitting your son, and it's like, no, I'm here because I'm a fan. He's coming with me to this thing.
Yeah. Oh! Yes, I know. KCON, the first KCON in New York, I was standing next to Woo-Chang. I don't know if you watch a lot of YouTube, but he's a YouTuber. And he and I were talking just random stuff, and a fan came up to him to give him a hug. And then he had to go and do a panel, and so she turns to me and she's like, "So, are you somebody's parent?" Aww. And I was like, "No, I'm actually a fan and I'm here for, you know, a panel." So it's just like, actually here, like, older fans need love too, guys. I mean, gosh. Yeah. So I thought it was funny afterwards, but yeah, I was a little hot. I had some choice words to say.
The older fans are usually like nicer too. I mean, like not that you guys are nice, but like, like the older ones. Like when I was in Montreal and we had a meet and greet, and I think this lady was maybe in her 50s, 60s, and I don't know if she was getting it for herself or her granddaughter or her daughter, but she was like, there's like posters for us to sign, and she's like, "Do I have to pay for this after we sign?" I was like, "No."
She's been to conventions, I guess, like Comic-Con and stuff. You have to pay for autographs.
Really?
Yeah. Like $50. They like hide the people on purpose so you can't see. Yeah, you can't like sneak a selfie or anything. It's hardcore security at things like that. But awesome. Okay. So should we move on to Eddi then?
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What happens when I turn 30?
You magically become
Is there like a different category for when people like weren't 30 but now they are 30, or do I just transcend into?
Basically the same. No, you're your mind opens and your eyes become clear and you're like, this is my life. You just go with it.
I'm a K-pop fan.
But yes, oh yes, so moving on to Eddi, who wanted to talk about the power of fandom. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different fandoms, obviously. I know you're talking about careers tomorrow, because we both have like careers in fandom as in K-pop as well. But one thing that I was really interested in talking about is like if there's like bad fandoms or good fandoms, or a bad fan, a good fan. You know how sometimes people might label like someone as like a Korea-boo and they have a lot of negativity towards them, or they might be like a Sasang fan and no one really wants to relate to that. But sometimes I feel like inside we have a little Sasang fan in us where we might, you know, just a little bit, we really love them. I know I totally had a Sasang moment when I told you guys about it when we were discussing for this panel. I had met Simon D, during like a rap concert, and he was drinking his water, and then he gave it to me, and I was like, I'm keeping this. And I still have that bottle. And that bottle it's in my college stuff, like packed away at least. It's not like shrined somewhere. But I was thinking, I was like, oh my god, I still have this. And I was like, but I'm never throwing it away, like, ever. And yeah, that's just something I thought about. I was curious if you guys ever had like a Sasang moment, if someone wants to admit it with me. Anybody? You? Oh, can you tell me? I'm really curious.
I caught a towel at the concert.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and you keep it forever. Maybe you hang it somewhere, right? Oh, no! Yes. I say you should feel your feelings and you should embrace like anything you're feeling about, you know, any of the artists that you love, you know? So, yeah, I guess another thing though I do want to talk about for bad fans or crazy fans, or I guess the ones that you might hear about like in Korea who take the taxis, like follow them, or anything insane like that. So I hope nobody would do that at least. But, what I wanted to say was that I think as a whole, all fans, like we can always like work together to enjoy experiences during our concerts or in KCON, etc. like that, and like quit the fan wars. And yeah, stop the fan wars. I don't like
Stop the fan wars. It's so stupid. It really is. Infrastructure, it doesn't make sense, truly. And I really hope that no one from the over 30 crowd looking at y'all take part of this fandom wars, because
I'm tired to have the fandom war.
we are, and we're too busy trying to spend our money at the concert. So
oh, there you go. See.
I guess on that note, also, like, it's hard because it's like, you know, when you're a fan, it's coming from a really positive place. Like, you want to support the group and you want to make sure they're okay and healthy, and you know, you want to support other people that are also supporting the group. But there is that fine line, you know, that we see sometimes that gets crossed.
Yeah, definitely. But
just be aware of your love not turning into something
violent,
dangerous, darker.
Yeah. But there's some good. Oh, no.
I know this is Eddi's thing, but I want to hijack it for a second to discuss something that's like going on right now. I don't know if anybody's been following what's going on with Super Junior, but pretty much their fans in Korea were like, we don't want these members in the group. And I was like contemplating writing about it. Pretty much they've done it 7 times to their like 13 plus 15 members, however you want to count.
oh my god.
So just like, be a good fan. Like, if you're a fan and you don't like them anymore, just be like quiet about it and like leave. Like, it's a huge mess. Like, they've shut down their Instagram page. They've like,
oh my god.
They've like, they're holding meetings with fan leaders, fan club leaders in Korea. Like, they are supposed to have a comeback and they're just like quiet about it. Like, everything's just like come to a halt. Just like, be a good fan. If you're not a fan anymore, just like stop.
I bet like a lot of people over here are like, we'll take them if Korea doesn't want them. They'll make their own group. Bring them over.
Perform at the birthday party or something. But I guess there are some good sides too. One thing that I noticed, one time I went to a B1A4 concert, and their fandom is like the nicest fandom I've ever met. They actually made the little bean sprout like headbands for everybody, but I couldn't get one. But they sold out so fast. Well, not even sold out, they gave them out, and that's what I thought was really beautiful. They really like recruited new people to be a part of, it's Banas, right? Banas. But they wanted to be a part of the fan club, and I love seeing that, like everyone like interacting and like sharing, and then like you get close with some of these international fan clubs because they're here in the US, not in Korea. So I think that's another beautiful thing I saw, but I only saw that like once. It was just for B1A4, so I want to see that more. So maybe you guys can, you know, just like how there's Facebook groups, and you guys can like lead up, you know, start something up, give me free things.
I didn't see it personally, but I heard that in shiny Toronto, Japanese fans were concerned that there wouldn't be enough light sticks because they weren't bringing merch. So some of the Japanese fans who came for the concert like collected light sticks from fans in Japan and brought them for the crowd in Toronto because they didn't want there not to be an ocean. So like they were like, we're gonna bring these light sticks, and they let everyone keep them too.
The power of fandom.
Yeah, that's exactly the power of fandom. So let us keep that power alive, and then yeah, let's go on to the next topic.
Yeah. We just want to be good fans. Don't be naughty. Just be good fans. Just don't be mean. Just be a good fan. Awesome. So yeah, the next person who's going to talk is Tamar.
Hi everybody. So I was going to talk about being a professional fan. I got into K-pop while I was in high school, and I kind of knew what I was sort of studying in college, and it ended up transitioning into East Asian Studies, and I started writing about K-pop while I was studying abroad in Korea for my major. And since then I've like written for everyone, and right now I'm writing for Billboard, and a lot of times like it's great, and sometimes you have to like tone back down the fangirling, and that's kind of fine. I'm like a pretty staid person. Like I've been through my exuberant phases, but I have done some like crazy things as a fangirl. But when you're like being professional, like my friends like will tell me like before an interview, if you don't tell them that you like them, like you're a bad like journalist. Like you should tell them that you like them. Like don't just go in and do your questions and be like hi bye, because I think that's what you should do as a journalist. But I'm trying to change that. But it's been like a long run. It's a small field and it's really competitive, and just to get to breaking in is a lot easier than people think. Like I just did it by like hitting up a blog I knew that was looking for freelance free contributors. I don't really support not paying writers, but it's something to do, and it's very popular in K-pop. And I know I run a blog that's contributor driven, and like we've seen a bunch of our writers go on to like actually write about K-pop like and earn money for it, so that's really great. So like the smaller blogs that are for free are really a good stepping stone, especially for K-pop. So I started from that, and then I ended up writing for MTV's international site, MTV Eddi, for a while, and then slowly I built my way. I'm also a journalist full-time. I've worked at NBC, and right now I'm like freelancing full-time, not just about K-pop. I cover Broadway if anybody's interested. But yeah, so like it's a small niche field, and like everybody knows everybody. Like I see a bunch of faces here who like I see at every single concert that I go to, and it's really like a lot of fun, and the fandom kind of makes it really great sometimes, and also kind of makes it the worst thing ever. So like be really like tone down your like crazy sometimes. That's like really what I want to like tweet out there. Just be like, you need to calm down. Like there was one time I took a picture with BTS a few months ago, and I posted on Instagram after like crazily being careful, like okay, like I didn't put my arms around them, like I'm not touching, and like I was wearing a blazer, and like my blazer sleeve was touching Jimin's arm, and people like cropped it and were just like, this crazy, like how dare she? And like that just like made me so mad. I'm just like, look, I'm an Orthodox Jew. I don't touch, I know people who don't touch, like girls and guys don't touch. I am the most respectful person about that. I don't reach out my hands unless someone else does. Like I don't know what you like. I don't know your personal space boundaries. I like literally the next time I did an interview, I think it was VIP, I like stood there like this holding my phone, so like nothing was touching. Like my friend was there with me and she's like, I'm pretty sure you just told them don't touch me. And I'm just like, I was so scarred. Like just
your body heats are touching. Your body heats, your auras are touching.
I mean, I've seen your photos on your posts. It's usually like they're there and she's
I am scarred, and like I don't need a hug or anything, but like it's like just it kind of scarred me. But it's always really fun, and the interviews are usually really great. Like they're always really open to English audiences. They like want to know what the American fans like know about them. Like they always get really surprised when an interviewee knows something that like they don't think they should know. So like one time I was interviewing like Jessica, formerly of Girls' Generation, and I said something like that she was emceeing a TV show. And she was like, oh my gosh, you know that? And I'm just like, it's on your Wikipedia page. Like, even if I didn't write about K-pop all day long, like, it's pretty accessible. And like when I was at BEP, another interviewer asked them like, oh, what do you think of like Baby Selka Day? And they like were like, we have no idea what this is. And they were super excited to find out about this thing that like fans were doing that they had no idea about. So like, they just really like, whenever you see anybody saying like, oh, do you have any questions for this artist? Just like answer them. They like really need the questions help because they don't know what you want to know unless you tell them.
I guess also, I don't know if we actually talked about it publicly, but I was wondering if you think K-pop journalism is not taken seriously enough either, like nowadays, or if it's getting there, getting better, getting worse, like are people thinking?
I think it's definitely getting a little bit better, but at the same time it's not, because as K-pop becomes more mainstream, people who are just distinct K-pop journalists, like it doesn't matter as much anymore. Like any and everybody's writing about BTS, and a lot of times, like I actually wrote an article, I read a blog called KCON, it's KULTSCENE with a K, not a C. And I wrote an article the other day essentially saying like, you guys need to chill on like going after journalists for any and everything, because not everything that you read online is right, not everything you read online you think is right. Like I had one journalist, I'm using that really loosely, and if you know what I'm talking about, like you'll know what I'm talking about. Came after an article I wrote and like fact checked it, except he didn't quote my article, and he hardly even linked my article, and he changed the headline of my article, and he claimed that I said one thing on Billboard and was like, Billboard says this and they're incorrect. And it was not incorrect. I had checked the facts multiple times. I had been discussing with, it was about a chart, and I had been discussing with the chart runner multiple times to make sure that everything was 100%. And then people were attacking him like, oh no, she's not wrong, you're wrong. Oh, and nobody was like paying attention to the fact that like he didn't quote anything. He was just saying that I said something erroneously. So I'm like, got really like, you guys like need to know how like responses to journalism work. Like you have to read an article before you can say something. A lot of time on Twitter, like a lot of headlines for articles won't get like okayed by the writer. Like the editors will just throw it up there and you're just like, oh, I don't really like that one so much.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they'll respect your choice and change it, and sometimes they won't. And like when fans come after you and like that happens, you're just like, I'm really sorry, like I don't like it either, it's just what they did. Like you're a writer and you work with an editorial team, and at the end of the day, whatever they want happens. So like it's a collaborative work. So when people come after a journalist and you're just like, oh, we don't like what you're doing, like you might not know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And like back to your question, like a lot of things are going on behind the scenes right now. Like I don't know if anybody else noticed, but BTS is getting a lot of coverage. And they're getting a lot of coverage by people who might not necessarily be K-pop fans. They might not necessarily be part of the fandom. So like when you see an article, who like I always say like to try to figure out who the audience is. So like I write articles for Billboard, and when I write for that, I usually write for K-pop fans because there's a distinct K-pop column on the site. Like people who are looking for it are looking there. When I write for another outlet, I don't necessarily go into as much detail about something, or I go into even less detail, because like trying to explain a whole fandom is impossible in like a sentence. Yeah, you just like, so like sometimes there's like picking and choosing like who your audience is, and now because the audience is growing, a lot of journalists, like I don't think that anybody who's writing these articles don't know what they're talking about, but you might think that they don't just because you're not their audience. Like you know so much as a K-pop fan. If you're a KCON, you know way more than every single other person reading that article. But so it's also like, it's becoming a wider field, but it's becoming like a less streamlined field. So more and more people can do it. So we'll see more and more and more K-pop journalism, I think. We'll see less and less K-pop journalists.
I actually wanted to comment on one thing you discussed too, how like fans might have a commentary towards you. Yeah, we get a lot of it, because I also do writing just like Tamar, and I mean I won't reveal which ones it is, like what fans or what posts or whatever, but I've gotten like tons of fans who are like angry for, like complete towards me, that are like, what are you, 5, like with a laptop, or like you can't do this and that. And then sometimes like if I don't post like their favorite group, they like flip crap. Like they like totally flip, and they'll be like, oh, I got like a private message once in an email that was just like, you don't include TVXQ, so I'm watching you. And I was like, eh? I was like, okay. But I was,
you're on the list.
Yeah, right? So I did put TVXQ in the next article, and I was like, I don't know what your deal is, but there it is. But yeah, fans can be just as like crazy and rude in the commentary for articles than you would expect, so.
Not all of them, like
no, not all of them.
Most people reading the articles aren't passionate enough, or they are passionate enough and they're just like, I understand what you're saying and I don't need to like call you out for everything that I don't like, or like I see why you wrote that, whatever. Comments that are really nice to get, and like I always say, like my Twitter DM box is open. I like love talking to people on Twitter and everything else, but Twitter's like where I am most of the time. Like comment section, like people don't really, I think they don't really think that like we read the comments, because like we're not K-pop idols. Like I will check out my comments to make sure that people like are okay with my article or like.
2 in the morning with my face mask, reading your comments.
Oh, I think question. Do you have a question? I think
Are wrong?
Well,
it's trolls.
Oh.
I don't really think so. I think they're really passionate fans.
Yeah, they're.
Well, actually, we have gotten negative comments before also, and it's like, but when I get the comment, I'm like, what the heck? Like my initial reaction is like, why would you say something so rude? And then I like go back to see, maybe like I do a little research like at their YouTube and stuff, and it's just like, oh, they write negative comments on everybody's.
Yeah.
So like sometimes you do find like the troll type person.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just flipped by. I was like, I'm still getting paper, and I just flip it. So
someone like negatively comments on your article and then like hijacks the comments section and makes it about something totally different.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask David because he does covers. Do you get like the negative comments like, oh, you can't do it because you're not part of that group, so don't do the covers?
No, usually the bad comments are just because I'm bad.
Oh,
No, that's not nice.
No.
self-deprecating humor.
One of those.
No, I get. Everyone gets like negative comments sometimes, but usually it's just like because they are so passionate about like that song, and they're just like, oh, you didn't do this part right, or like but never because you're not part of it. I think people are usually pretty open to covers. They like watching covers.
Okay. I'm curious.
that's what it is.
Well, since David, do you want to move on to David?
Yeah, since you're talking, tell us more about the covers and everything you do, please.
Like just about me, or
I mean, yeah, you have the mic. Go for it.
I mean, covers. They take a lot of time, obviously, because you have to get the instrumental, you have to learn the song, and then you have to film the music video. And nowadays the production is like really high, so like the standards are like really high now compared to back when I
competing
started.
with music videos.
Yeah.
With your covers of the music video.
Yeah, and then now people are like doing like dance covers now. Like before it was just like vocal covers. That was like the thing on YouTube. And now like people are doing like dance covers. And the songs are like super choreo-centric, so I'm just like, if I sing this, am I gonna have to dance too?
Probably, yeah. It gotta be the one-man show.
Gotta be a triple threat.
Yeah.
So I think I'm trying to find like dancers to feature in my covers. Like, here I am.
I do dance. People don't know, but I do.
I was gonna say we do have some people who are offering their services for your next video.
And fans are like really good dancers too. Like if you go to like any of the cons, like KCON, K-pop con from Toronto, like everyone just knows the choreo. They have this random dance panels, and everybody just runs up and knows the choreo, and I'm just like, how?
How? I had a meeting beforehand and they all just
Right? That happened last year at KCON. This Dum 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 by like Red Velvet was playing, and this girl was so prepared that like once she like lay down on the floor, she ripped out the wristband thing and was like tapping it, and I was like, girl, I was like, what? Like, did you know in advance this is going on? Like, people are prepared.
She's been practicing for that moment.
Yeah.
The whole night.
Flat wrist.
Yeah.
It's like, it's my moment. I must do it.
So I guess with David also, he thought it would be fun to.
Yeah. So it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah, your turn, David.
So they were all writers, and I'm just like, I write my tweets.
Hey, that takes some sort,
Social media skills are really
social media skills.
They're like interviewing people, and I'm just like, sometimes I wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and talk to myself.
Perfect. Favorited. Retweeted.
Yeah, so I thought it would be fun to talk about like what your friends or like people you know, like what kind of K-pop fans they are, and what better to you.
Yeah, what type? You would love my keys. Jessica's on my keychain.
It's on your keychain?
Yeah, I will show you later.
She's on my wallpaper.
Oh, okay.
I have her posters like framed as like art on my walls, and like when people come over, like they don't realize it at first because it looks really nice. It's like framed up, and it's just like there. They look closer, like, is that a K-pop poster? Like, no, it's art.
Art. Don't touch it. Nice. Okay. Well, sorry, we only have like 5 minutes left.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if you want to keep.
All right, well, yeah. So you guys can, take it. I don't have to throw shade today. It's good.
If you want to throw shade, stay here and someone will talk with
Find
you
a back
about
to the panel and
Shade has been spared.
inside scoop.
Take it to YouTube.
Take it to YouTube.
I'll
See you on YouTube comment section. Anyway, so does anyone have any questions? We wanted to open the floor actually maybe for questions you had for the panelists or maybe about, what we discussed today, or if you just had some input that you wanted to mention, anything, or does anyone have a question? Raise your hand.
You look opinionated. You seem like you might have something. Yes, you with the braids. Yeah. I mean, if y'all need to come up and speak, you can get the. We're prepared. There you go.
Tell us your
If
feelings.
anybody wants to, she's going to bring a mic around, and if anyone has a question or just a statement,
I sense something from. Please go to this young woman. Right here.
We're going to call her out. We don't have a spotlight, but like right here.
She's ready.
Yeah, that did her wrong. You look opinionated.
Thanks, Daniela. For bringing the mic. What's your favorite group and who's your favorite? Oh, what's your favorite?
Well, like everybody or just one of us? Everybody? I guess it's everybody.
How much time do we have?
Everybody. Okay, so I really love Girls Day.
We have 3 minutes.
I'm gonna make it quick. Girls Day the best ever. Girls Day Nina. Next. Tamar, tell us.
I like Super Junior and Infinite. I like Etuk and Sungyeol.
Ajummah.
Okay, Big Bang is my group. That song is the ultimate bias follow.
Yes. I feel like we spent a long time talking about this already. So.
Okay.
David, I don't need David. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
I already know who she is. I already know girlfriend. I already know everything about you, so. Next.
Oh, I guess for us, is it 1, 2, 3? Vix! That's like me.
I'm just kidding, David.
I know. I'm not sad.
all right. Next question. Who? Oh,
I have a question.
Lovely
We
lady.
still have 3 minutes.
Let's go all the way.
How far does it go?
Come to us.
Let's go that far.
You just halfway at the borderline.
Okay, so, you guys have been like fans for a very long time, so who do you think is gonna be like the next big group in America?
You mean
Oh, in
after
America?
BTS?
Like after BTS?
And that's not on the list, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get a little creative here.
I think maybe NCT 127.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who they were. Like, I knew of them, but I wasn't really a fan until I heard that they were coming here and I started listening to their music. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I definitely think they got some staying power if they keep going in the direction that they're going now.
I think Card. Like once they debut,
Yeah.
Card is gonna be really big in the West.
I mean, wherever Junsomi goes, like if she finally goes into a group, probably whatever group she goes in might become popular in the US. But I want to say Kristen too. I kind of like their style, so I think they might start off really well if they came over here. Like Twice is already here, 17 is already here, Astro is here, and they just started. So I'm like, all right, but yeah, and I don't hate them. I'm just so surprised that they got such a huge accomplishment so quickly. So
I think 17 and Monsta X might be like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Monsta X. Oh.
I really love those.
Yeah. Undated. Nice. Okay.
Question.
1 more minute. We have 1 minute. So if there's anyone who has a question.
Any more questions? Questions, comments? We should have an over 30 meetup. Just to hang out.
There you go.
If you see us, my girl Ashley right here, multifaceted ACG in the audience. Woo! We should meet up.
You know what,
Spread the love.
David? You should sing for us. Give us a little snippet. Yeah.
This was not part of the script.
I know it's not,
I
but
didn't write that down. I
we
swear.
have a minute.
I know I
left.
missed the meeting, but
Let's end it on a beautiful note.
We're hazing it.
Give us a little something, something.
what
Little G friend.
Whatever is your go-to?
what about some BTS?
That works.
Ooh.
Got your cameras, everybody.
Yeah. Y'all got 5 seconds. Get ready.
All right.
We literally have like 5 seconds.
Kiss on and let me know, just save me, save me. I need your love before I fall. Let's
That
talk.
was a pleasant way to end the panel.
Can I keep your water bottle? Put it next to Simon Dominic?
Oh my god.
I'm totally kidding. All right.
Oh.
Well, I guess we'll wrap it up now for the next panel after us. But thank you guys so much for coming out and talking with us.
All right, guys, I'm extra, right? So before we leave, let's get a group video.
Yeah, we should.
So I'm recording now. When I flip it, I want to hear you guys make some noise. Ready? All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. That's so extra. I love it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yes, enjoy KCON. Come to our other panels.
Follow us on social.